Peace, assalamu alaikum, hotep, grand rising, praise God, what's up, what's happening, or whatever it is that you subscribe to. Dead eye. You ain't bigger than the mob, part 4. So, dead eye, he could have, by dead eye peeping that GD police was about to catch out, dead eye could have made some noise about the situation and got GD police whooped. But in my opinion, dead eye was smart for making that move. For one, he already wants the position, so you don't want to cause no undue heat for real, and that could mess up him getting that position, because it was about, that could have messed him up getting a position, because once the GDs would have got on him, maybe 4 or 5 of them probably would have went to the hole, and then that would have caused the administration to fill them racks up, and it could be somebody to come on a zone that's already in position to automatically hold that position down, if you can pick up what I'm putting down. And the second reason I believe that was a good move, because you got about 15, 16 GDs on the zone, and it's a number game. It's a numbers game in prison. So it was about 15, 16 GDs, probably about maybe 10 vice lords, a couple stones, couple bloods, couple crips. You know what I mean? So GD got the number, so that was smart for him, to make that call. So won't no GDs go to the hole and then their numbers drop, because you never know. Even though the administration gonna fill them racks up, you never know who they gonna bring in. They could have brought in some more vice lords, and then now the vice lords got more numbers than the GDs. That's just how it goes. So that was a smart move for dead eye, not to make no noise, and just go on and let bro check out, go on and let GD folk catch up and go to PC. So yeah, after he catch out, you know what I mean, dead eye, good morning America, he feeling himself now, you know what I mean. He feel like he done did something. He felt like he done did something righteous by putting GD folk on blast and getting him out the way. You know what I mean? He felt like that was something righteous. That was some gangster shit. You know what I mean? So Big Dog, when he came on the zone the next morning and they had the OD and they elected Dead Eye to be over the zone. I think it was called the 24-3. I can't remember the numbers, but Dead Eye was the zone. He was over the zone, and Dead Eye he held it down. And me and Dead Eye, we stayed on the zone together while he had the position. We stayed on the zone together probably about 4 months, maybe 6 months, until I ended up going to another pod. And Dead Eye did not like that. He ain't want me to leave. You know what I mean? But that's another story. So what Big Dog did, and I got a lot of stories about Big Dog. Big Dog, he was BGD, he was an older brother. He was real righteous, and Big Dog did not play. You know what I mean? Like, he really believed in. Let me go to a commercial break if I may. Now you got some guys that's in these organizations that really believe in the concepts, even though you got a lot of nonsense going on. It's a lot of negativity, but I don't advise nobody to join no organization, but especially in prison. Now it's different on the street. So I did a story this morning about the BGDs and the GDs going to war, and I explained what BGD and GD mean, which is Black Gangster Disciple and Gangster Disciple. But what I left out was, you know, the GDs had a growth spurt, if you can pick up what I'm putting down. GDs really tried to become organized and become a positive structure by changing the name from Gangster Disciple to Growth and Development. You know what I mean? So GD's really supposed to been like, it's supposed to been a gumbo of everything. Lawyers, doctors, politicians, especially politicians. You know what I mean? School teachers. That's really what it was growing to be. And then, you know, I mean, it just, you just got people who they just ignorant and just wanted to live the gangster lifestyle and not the growth and development lifestyle. So, but he did good, man. And so what Big Dog ended up doing, and like I said, me and Big Dog, we did some time together, and he was real cool. And me and Big Dog ended up on the zone together, and we used to talk all the time. I'm talking about just talking about the organization and the history. And you know, I'm a history fanatic. You know what I mean? I'm always telling y'all, all I did was read when I was in the penitentiary. So I'm a history fanatic, and you know, being a Black disciple, it was a spiritual thing for me because, you know, you got some good concepts in these organizations, and it's designed to make you a better man. You know what I mean? That's what it's designed for. So if you one of the ones who taking these concepts serious, like you really the ideal man, if you can pick up what I'm putting down. But like I said, people just ignorant and just want to live the gangster lifestyle. But me and Big Dog, we used to talk, and so what Big Dog did around this time, I'm a Black disciple, and for those who know the history, in Mississippi, I can't speak for nowhere else. I ain't never been to prison nowhere else. I know in Mississippi, Black disciples within the six, within the disciple nation, Black disciples is looked at as the advisors because, you know, we are spiritual. Now, Black disciples is more in tune with Christianity and Islam, but that's another story. It's a long story. That's another story. But so that's how we are looked at. So what Big Dog did, you know, he convinced me to go on and plug in. So I plugged in, and I got on the count, and I became. He created a position, and I became the advisor for Big Dog, you know what I mean? And you know, like I'm always telling y'all, I never portrayed to be no tough guy, but you know, I'm gonna stand up for myself when it's time to. But I mean, I feel like I fit that position because I was always, you know, giving people advice and, you know, trying to keep the guys out of trouble, whether they be GD, Vice Lords, or Stone, or whatever. I'm the one that try to keep the nonsense down for the most part. So he made me his advisor, man, you know what I mean? And shoot, we used to walk the yard, and Big Dog, he used to have security with him. He couldn't move nowhere without security. And the way he structured it, like, I really respect his intelligence and his organizational skills. If you had a position, you couldn't go nowhere without no security. That's how he had it set up, and I respected that because he showed me that he was intelligent, and he really and you know, he really was about the disciplism more so than he was with the gangsterism. But now one signature move Big Dog was known to do, he'd come to that window if something went on, and he sat back, and me and him talked about it, and you know, he asking me advice or whatever, even though he gonna do what he wanna do, but I'm gonna give him some advice, you know what I mean, on how to do this and how to do that. And he known for coming to that window and dropping them thumbs down. He come to the window and drop them thumbs down, that means somebody finna get put in the blender. So he known for that. But for the most part, he was with the righteousness, as far as I can see at that time. Now over time, come to find out, Big Dog was playing a lot of penitentiary politics and a lot of penitentiary games. I'm talking about involving the police and everything. But you know, I got some stories. I'm gonna save them stories for some other time. But so yeah, Dad, you know, he was handling his business. He did good. He did good up in cause I ended up moving to another zone, which I got some stories I'm gonna tell in that zone. But and then eventually I moved to another penitentiary. I got shipped to another penitentiary. I got shipped closer to home, to George County. But you know, I got a chance to see the growth in Dad. I mean, he still was funny, you know what I mean? He still gonna make the zone laugh and whatnot. But I got a chance to see him, his organizational skills, and I got a chance to see him grow within the organization. And you know, he started reading more, because me and him used to have a lot of conversation. But let me go to a commercial break, if I may, before I finish the story. Now, I did a live about Bowleg put dude in the Bojangles. Now, I really need y'all to go check out that video, because this story that I want to tell, it's a lot of things that happen, and it's gonna show you a lot of the prison politics within the organizations. And it really got bad between the Stones and the Vice Lords because of this incident with Bowleg putting the Vice Lord in the Bojangles. So y'all go check that story out, and when you go check that story out, I just want you to comment Bowleg, and I'm gonna come on with part 2. I need at least comments. I need at least 10 comments. I done got 2 so far, so I need some more comments. Just type in Bowleg, and I'm gonna come back with part 2 of that story. And you can even comment Bowleg in this video, and when I get them 10 comments, I'm gonna go on and run that story. But until then, I'm not gonna run that story. But y'all really want to hear this story, because it shed a lot of light on the mental issues and like I said, the prison politics when it comes to being affiliated in the Mississippi State Prison. So yeah, Dad, he know he running the zone smooth. And then when, you know, once you get a position, you gotta have an OD, and you have to lay your rules down, like what's gonna change, what's not gonna happen no more. So Dad, you know, he had an OD, you know what I mean? And he was telling there's gonna be some changes about the PO box. He changed, like, dude who was running the PO box, that was letting GD police get all that stuff without paying it back. Dad, I took that position from him, and he just became a regular standing member. He gave it to somebody else, and he got with that somebody one-on-one and let him know how he want the PO box run. And he, you know, he was laying it down. And I'm in the OD at the time, because, you know, he you know, Big Dog made me his advisor and put me on the count. So I'm in the OD, and you know, Dad, he was laying it down. He was shaking his head. Anything he disagree with, that's 430. That's 430. So, but he was telling the guys, like, you know, y'all know we supposed to work out 3 days a week. So I'm gonna make sure the enforcers making sure everybody working out, everybody doing what they supposed to do, and everybody becoming outstanding members, you know. And then when it's reported to me that you know, a brother, he done stepped his game up, he done learned what he's supposed to learn, he done spit it to me, and then I see that you're an outstanding member, then I'm gonna have an incentive, you know, for the outstanding member. So that's a good thing, because it's positive to me, even though we're in a negative situation, you know, everybody in prison. But having this type of structure gives brothers something to look up to, and then especially because most of these guys are young, you know what I mean? And this is what the organization supposed to be about, guidance, you know what I mean? Giving some incentives for doing something good instead of always, ready to punch on one of the brothers for doing something bad, you know what I mean? So I kind of had that balance, and I respected it. But I kind of helped him out a little bit because he always came to me for advice. But one incident took place on the zone with a brother. A brother had just came on the zone. This is probably about a month after Deadeye got the position. A new brother came on the zone, and then when you got a new brother come on the zone, and the enforcer's gonna, check him, make sure he know what he's supposed to know. And if he don't know what he's supposed to know, it's really on Deadeye on how he want to handle the situation. So the new dude came on the zone, and he didn't know nothing. I'm talking about, bro didn't know nothing. And phones ain't in the prison at the time, so you can't just call the streets and see what's going on. It's got to be a waiting game. You got to wait and see if somebody know him that's in the penitentiary. And dude was from Jackson. If somebody already in the penitentiary from that town, then I got to wait till he get with whoever that is and see if they know the brother. So after the enforcers come report to Deadeye, like, bro don't know nothing, you know what I mean? So, Deadeye, he wasn't the type like GD Police to call an OD about every little thing. Deadeye was the type, he'll go to each individual member one-on-one and, deal with the situation like that, unless it's just necessarily called for an OD, because having an OD all the time, man, the police be looking, you know what I mean? That just undue heat at the end of the day. And undue heat, that's one of the laws and policies that you don't supposed to bring. You don't supposed to bring undue heat on the zone. So talk to each individual member, and they told Deadeye what they think he should do until he find out, if the brother really a GD or not, you know what I mean? So Deadeye, he sat back, he came to me and he talked to me about it, and I was like, well, bro, we really don't know if he GD or not, but let's have a conversation with Big Dog when they call Yard, and then we'll figure it out from there. And he like, all right, bet. So boom, they call Yard, and Big Dog, he got all these brothers around him. You know what I mean? I'm talking about he moving like a real live mob figure. Like he had that shit. I'm talking about he had that shit structured right, and I loved it. But so we running it with Big Dog. So Big Dog was like, tell the little brother to come in. So the little brother came in, and they he knew the handshake, but who don't? I mean, I knew the handshake before. When I was young on the streets, I knew the handshake, and I wasn't even, you know what I mean? I wasn't even plugged in at the time. So Big Dog asking him questions, where he's from, who his superior is, you know what I mean? And he said some name. But Deadeye looked at me, and we looked at, we kind of looked at each other, because on the zone a couple of days ago, you said somebody else's name. So that was a red flag. Deadeye didn't say nothing about it. But after, Tony D asked him no questions and sent him on about his way, Deadeye told Tony D that. So he like, all right, bet. And but Deadeye said, I found out it's another brother in D-Pod that's from Jackson. So I'm gonna just see if dude knew him, you know what I mean? Because usually when in Jackson be deep in a lot of the Mississippi prison, but in Marshall County, we up here by Memphis in the GTA, so it's mostly GTA people up here. Starksville, Columbus, Tupelo, and West Point. You know what I mean? They real deep up here, but you got a few members. You got a few members that's from Jackson up here too. So Dead Eye went and hollered at the brother from Jackson, and the brother from Jackson told Dead Eye, nah, I don't know him, you know what I mean? But you know, let me see what I can, you know, put together and find out who he is. You know, Dead Eye told him his name, so Dead Eye came and told me what happened. So to make a long story short, come to find out, dude wasn't even with GD. The homeboy from Jackson did his due diligence. It took a while for it to come back. But let me go back a little bit. So in the meantime, dude was just what they call, he was on a probation period until we found out exactly who he was. You know what I mean? So fast forward, find out that he wasn't even GD. He what they call false flagging. And that's really a no-no. That's supposed to get you, I'm talking about, whooped and beat up. You know what I mean? But Dead Eye, you know, he really didn't want to do the dude like that because he seen the potential. So we fall out on another yard call, and we running it with Tony D. And Tony D was like, bro, at the end of the day, it's your decision. But if you leaving the decision in my hand, if you want me to make the decision, then let me go back and I'm gonna sit on it, and then I'll let y'all know how to handle it when I come up with a decision. So Dead Eye like bet. So we go back on the zone. So we riding around, see what Big Dog gonna do, and in the meantime, you know, me and Dead Eye, we just be sitting down, we just be talking. Like me and Dead Eye, we became real tight. You know what I mean? I'm sharing them the history of the organization the way I knew it, because everybody got different versions. You know what I mean? But like I told y'all, BDs are known for the knowledge of the knowledge, wisdom, and the understanding of the organization, and not so much of the gangsterism. So, you know, I'm kicking it with the history, and you know, he's soaking it up, bro. Like, I really was seeing the growth in Dead Eye. So boom, couple hours passed, and one of the brothers called Dead Eye, said, Dead Eye, you got a phone call, and the phone call is just somebody at the window. Somebody wants you at the window. So he went to the window, and Tony D at the window, and he got his arm folded and shit. And Tony D dropped them thumbs. So you already know what that means. So Dead Eye, he appointed 2 or 3 brothers that was the brother size, you know what I mean? Cause Dead Eye really didn't want to do it to the man, but you know, he gotta follow orders. You know what I mean? That's just how it go. So the 2 or 3 brothers, they just went and did it to him. Like, they ain't even call him in the OD room or nothing. They just went and beat him up. They ain't doing too bad, but they did it to him. But the good thing about the brother, the little dude, I mean, he ain't catch out. He ain't go to PC. I mean, he wasn't no scary dude. He was just false flagging. So, you know, you ain't no GD, bro. So, until the next story, good morning, America. Y'all be smooth out here.